Hello, amazing people. Hello, beautiful people. You're welcome to another splendid episode of Get Impeccable with your favorite host, Precious and Dean. Today, I come with just one question. What's your net worth? You know, you might be thinking, I'm not a celebrity. Why would I be checking my net worth? Usually you go online searching for what's the net worth of this person who is your maybe favorite celebrity, or you just want to inquire. But is it just about being a celebrity that you have to consider the net worth? Here's the truth. Your net worth is very important because it tells you how much value you see in yourself and how much you attract. So today, amazing people, we are going to break down the nitty-gritty associated to net worth and definitely building ourselves, building our net worth. Trust me, it's going to be truly juicy. When people hear net worth, usually they think of money. How much money do you have? Truth is, net worth goes deeper than money. And I want us to look at these in three aspects. So therefore, we're going to use the acronym PIF, which stands for Personal Brand, Impact, and Financial Capacity. Dear people, your net worth is far beyond the amount of money you accumulate. It looks deeper into the meaning you associate to yourself. Your personal brand is super important because it defines how well you carry and possess yourself. It goes beyond the physical. I usually use this analogy of flowers. Flowers are known to always attract bees or butterflies or insects. Why do they get to them in the first place? It's how flashy and beautiful they look from the outside. But it's beyond just the flashy and beauty of the flower. It goes to what the flower has to offer. It goes to what the flower has to offer to the bee or the insect. That's to say, brand identity is beyond the physical. It's beyond how well you portray yourself. Of course, how well you carry yourself is super important, but it goes beyond that. It goes to ask the question of your values, your principle, what do you invest in, and what do you stand for? Your brand identity or your personal brand identity defines how well someone can differentiate you and how well you stand out. I also use this analogy of very famous electronics company like the Samsung, the Apple. Usually once you hear Samsung or you just see the logo of Samsung or Apple, you get to know, oh, this Samsung. You can explain every details about Samsung. You can tell what they do. That's because you've been able for several years to build an identity, to build a brand identity. And this goes beyond how they look, but what they stand for. Meanwhile, there are other electronic companies, but you barely get to know about them. This is not to say that you're trying to build a brand identity for recognition, for people to know you, for people to gain the attention. But it's to say that it takes time for you to stand as yourself and stand out. It takes time and intentionality for you to build your brand identity and build yourself. Every young person, every young individual watching this video should be intentional about their brand identity. How well do you hold yourself? How well do you see yourself? What do you stand for? So I'm going to ask just 3 questions that will definitely help you as an individual to build your brand identity. The questions are, what do you stand for? As an individual, as an amazing person watching Precious and Dean present to you, what do you stand for? 2, what do you bring? What do you bring? What do you bring is The things you carry along yourself if you enter a room. How is your presence felt? What do you bring? 3, how do you want people to experience you? How do you want people to experience you? These 3 questions, amazing people, are fundamental to enable you build your brand identity. Maybe developing the colors you admire, particular outfit you get to wear, how you carry yourself, all of this fall under the umbrella of these 3 questions I've asked. We're going to move on to the second letter of our acronym PIF, which is impact. Dear people, talking about impact without talking about your value is seemingly talking about nothing. The reason is because your value inevitably influences your impact. Your value inevitably influences your impact. So where do you place yourself? How do you see yourself? What impact are you bringing on the table that people see it as so much value? It's very important to notice that when you are striving for growth, striving to build your brand identity and creating impact, the impact you're gearing towards is not to be a people pleaser that's doing things for the social medias, to drop content, to do this, but it's more about how well these people feel you, such that if you come today in front of me, I see the worth in you and I'm willing to give in my all to ensure you grow or to ensure I support your business. Your friend circle, how well are these people willing to donate if you're facing a particular situation? All of these determines how much impact you bring into the world. Your impact is very important. These are one of the things that defines your self-worth. Beyond the money, again, I repeat. Now let's go to the last but not the least, the financial capacity. Usually when you talk about finance, people always think of how rich you are. And by how rich you are, it's how much cash you have on you, the cars you drive, the entire looks you portray that determines how rich and how financially stable you are. Honestly, flashy looks do not count as being wealthy. Of course, it's very important for you to build yourself, look good, get those, all the things that you feel makes your life better or happier or more comfortable. But to say that because you have the flashy cars, the flashy looks, the expensive perfumes, all of that defines how wealthy you are, that's far from it. Because your financial capacity or financial ability is defined by the wealth you accumulate. The wealth you accumulate is beyond just the liquid money. And when I say liquid money, it's the money in cash. It's about how well you're able to manage your finances to be able to impact beyond your life, but impact the lives of others. Most people who are often checked for their net worth, it's not because of the amount of money they spend. It's actually about the amount of money they have, possess, or accumulate. You won't go let's just say on Twitter, you won't go on any search engine and you're searching someone's net worth, and it's going to be based on how much they spend. It's going to be based on how much they accumulate, what properties they own, and how they utilize the money based on, let's just say, they invest in this company in shares, they invest in particular aspects you're passionate about. It's beyond just maybe the cars or the clothes they wear. That's to say, amazing people, that your finances has to do a lot with your self-worth. And The reason why we're emphasizing this is because you're not trying to make wealth trying to make wealth to gain attention of people. Because the very moment you feel that way, the very moment you expend unnecessarily, and you never really get to have the defined self-worth, especially in the financial capacity. In that sense, amazing people, PIF, PIF, PIF should be your number one trigger to remind you of how much you want people beyond just people. But PIF, amazing people, PIF should be your one trigger to remind you the need to improve on your self-worth. Not just for yourself, but how well the world will portray you. So, dear people, your personal brand influences the impact you make because you are gaining particular values. That impact you're making attracts resources. And that's what we're saying, that when you reach a particular point where you know yourself, you have invested in yourself, you are building that impact, then there comes a time where you no longer follow the law of chasing money, but you start manifesting money. You start manifesting the scenario of money chasing after you. That means you will be as important that you become the prize, and everyone is willing to give in to gain your worth. So invest in yourself. Build that personal brand identity. Build that personal brand identity and create an impact in everything you do. Seek for impact and influence, not for attention, but for the impact you're willing to invest on earth that gives you optimum joy. And with this comes the financial capacity that goes beyond the financial wisdom and potential you have, but how well your impact speaks for you and definitely repays you. So, dear people, I ask you again, what is your self-worth? Jesus. Okay, amazing people. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this episode. I hope you grabbed something. I hope you're piffing to build your self-worth and transforming your life for the better. Of course, Get Impeccable here got you, and we are your number one fan for growth, grit, and greatness. So please stick with us. What are you waiting for if you're yet to subscribe? Please do hit that subscribe button. Join the family, because we love you and we are building a mega grand family. So join us and do not miss the love we bring. Again, like, share. Please also drop a comment so I know your experience with this episode. Until next time, I remain your lovely host, Precious and Dean. I am rooting for you, praying for you, and I will see you at the top. Ciao.